You know it's going to be a disaster the second someone starts arguing with police while having absolutely no clue what they're talking about. So in today's video, we've got a guy who's diving headfirst into sovereign citizen logic without even fully realizing what game he's playing, and somehow manages to lose his car in the process. And trust me, the confusion only gets worse from there.
Hey, shut the door. Come back here. Come back here.
What's going on?
Hey, pulled you over. Take your hands out of your pockets.
Okay.
Pulled you over today.
Okay.
Because you have a suspended driver's license. I ran your tags.
Okay.
And I found that the registered owner was
Now can you do
driver's license and registered owner.
You say what?
Take your hands out of your pockets,
Okay.
please.
Okay. No.
I ran your tags.
Okay. I understand that, but don't put your hands on me.
Don't reach in your pocket.
Okay.
Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Hey, just settle down. Yeah, we're allowed to.
Why? No, you're not. I allowed the 10 years.
Calm down. You want me to explain why I pulled you over?
I know that you cannot do that.
You want me to explain to you why I pulled you over?
You cannot do that, sir. Give me your keys. Why do you need my keys?
Why do you need my keys? You're about to catch a criminal charge. Why? Because you're detained for a traffic offense and you're not allowed to leave. You're under arrest for driving on a suspended driver's license.
That's not a criminal offense.
It's a traffic offense.
It's a traffic offense, not a criminal offense.
It's a criminal offense. It's a misdemeanor instead of Arkansas State.
No, that's not a misdemeanor.
Okay. So just lean against this. Do it. We don't have to talk about it.
Misdemeanor. Okay. Well, quit. Tighten it up. I'm not tightening it up.
Okay, you're about to find your way to set handcuffs, okay? Just settle down.
Okay.
Just settle down.
Okay, am I being detained? Yes.
You're under arrest.
What's your RAS?
What is RAS?
Reasonable suspicion of driving on a suspended license, Charles.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
Now technically, the officers aren't wrong here. Driving without a valid license is illegal in every single state, and these cops clearly know exactly what kind of situation they're dealing with. You can tell almost immediately this is not their first encounter with somebody who learned constitutional law from random internet videos and Facebook comment sections.
That's not illegal. Yes, it is. Because you have to. It's a traffic offense before you connect to the traffic stop.
Okay, don't argue with silly stuff. I'm not going to argue with silly stuff.
See you there.
Okay. Mr. Terry. Mr. Terry.
Yes. So what? Okay. So y'all are arresting me for suspended driver license that I don't have.
And this is where things start falling apart fast. Because for some reason, people like this always talk way too much. The guy practically hands the officers the evidence himself by openly admitting he doesn't even have a valid license. At that point, the arrest isn't exactly complicated anymore. It's like watching someone accidentally snitch on themselves in real time and somehow still think they're winning the argument.
Come here. Walk right over here. Okay. So that's you.
1649.
Okay, you got behind my car.
Suspended.
Okay, I'm suspended. I didn't. Okay, you're saying I'm suspended.
Yeah, your driver's
but I
license
haven't did anything criminal.
So I ran your license plate.
But that's not criminal.
I ran your license. It's a misdemeanor in the state of
It's
Arkansas.
not criminal, man.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue this.
I studied law for 10 years. That's not criminal.
Then, of course, comes the classic "I've studied the law for years" speech. And honestly, you hear that line so often in these videos that it almost becomes comedy. Because somehow this self-proclaimed legal expert still can't understand why police are allowed to stop someone for a traffic violation. That's the crazy part. They always talk like constitutional scholars while completely ignoring the most basic laws everybody else already understands.
All right. Well, right now you're under arrest for driving off suspended driver's license, and I'm not going to have this silly argument anymore. Okay?
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what is all this about.
Well, I've told you 15 times.
Okay, can I call my wife?
No, you cannot. I'm going to put this right on my seat, okay? Is there anything in your car that can get you in trouble? Any weapons? No, I'm towing your vehicle per departmental policy. No, you can't. Go back over there, please.
He's got to drive my car. He said he's going to drive my car back.
He cannot?
Why not?
Because per department policy, I have to tow your vehicle.
Why? I mean, y'all just towing my car?
Enter 605. Start me another unit over here, please. Yeah, I'll get you a supervisor.
Can I get a supervisor? I don't want to talk to a supervisor because I don't understand this.
At this point, the officers are practically spelling it out for him. He got caught driving without a license. The department's policy is to tow the vehicle after an offense like that to discourage it from happening again. Simple. Nobody's targeting him. Nobody's violating his rights. This entire situation could have been avoided with one incredibly obvious solution. Get a driver's license. But instead of accepting that reality, he keeps arguing like the laws just magically stop applying to him because he says so.
Yeah,
6416 Colonel Glenn, DeCoin Laundromat. Your presence is being requested, sir.
that doesn't make any sense. Y'all just jump behind my car. Y'all jump behind my car.
So you have no reasonable expectation of privacy.
Run my flag for no reason. Y'all had no I wasn't speaking. I wasn't speaking. That tag is just I'm here for your court to throw me in handcuffs.
We'll explain it to you about 15 seconds. Okay. Continue to. So right now, per departmental policy, inventory search until your car. He's not a felon. I don't know why he's tripping about that. He's a felon? Do y'all know him by chance? Okay. So I ran his license plate, which you have no reasonable expectation of privacy of your license plate. We don't have to have a reason to run your license plate. We found that the registered owner of this vehicle has a suspended driver's license. We saw him in the car, pulled him over, and he jumped out immediately and started arguing with us, talking about how he studied law, which, cool, I hope he did. That's great. But it's an unclassified misdemeanor in the state of Arkansas to drive on a suspended driver's license. That's why he was put in handcuffs. He was tensing up. So to avoid a fight, we went ahead and put him in handcuffs because that's where that was going.
He was being arrested.
Yes, for driving on suspended driver's license.
You're arresting him for arresting
Yes. And then, so per my departmental policy.
freedom his rights, though, when you arrest him.
Schindler. Okay. Let's just.
You guys. It doesn't matter. I paid them to do their job. I'm a taxpayer.
And we just got a gun from a convicted felon. Okay.
Let's not forget that he's a sovereign citizen, so that's one less gun in the hands of a certified lunatic as well.
You tell me he's under arrest. Just tell me he's under arrest for having a gun. Oh, I mentioned the guy. Hey, Mr. Terry. Yeah. Don't kick your feet out.
I'm not.
Hey, my supervisor's on the way.
Yeah, but y'all pulled me up for no reason.
Pulled you over because you're driving on suspended
Y'all
license.
pulled me up for that's no reason. You can't do that, man.
Okay, well, right now you're under arrest for possession of a firearm by certain persons because you're a convicted felon. There's a gun underneath your seat, and you're the only person in the car.
Okay, well, I'm not worried about that because that gun's registered my wife, so I'm not worried about it.
Guns aren't registered in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. You're incorrect.
That's her gun.
Well,
It
cool.
belongs to
Hey,
her.
so let's just quit this back and forth, and let's just take it in court.
I'm not worried about it, man.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You seem pretty worried about it.
Yeah.
The guy in custody. So we stopped, we ran his tags, found the registered owner of the vehicle that has suspended driver's license. Conducted a stop on that VC. As we're going in, we see his tag. And he immediately jumps out and locks the door. He's putting his hands in his pockets. I tell him once, I can't take your hands out of your pockets. He does it again. Brandon grabs his arm, and we're going back and forth about how he's not under arrest and studied law for 10. He's being super ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Acting like he has something in the car. Going back and forth how he studied law for 10 years. Tell me that driving on suspended is not a misdemeanor. It is. He keeps tensing up. We go ahead and cuff him. Tell him he's under arrest for driving on suspended driver's license. I then tell him I'm going to tow his vehicle per department policy. Tell him that per department policy and Supreme Court case law, I'm going to conduct a inventory search of the car. I didn't say Supreme Court case law to him, but both you and I know it. So I'm going to conduct an inventory search, look inside, look underneath the seat where valuable things such as firearms are usually kept. So we're doing an inventory search and there's a gun, and he is a convicted felon. So he is under arrest for possession of firearms for purposes. So he is in the backseat of the car. He has not been thoroughly searched yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Brandon, let's go ahead and get a real search on this guy.
You the sergeant? Yes, okay. What's your name, sir? I'm Charles Hunt. Charles Hunt? H-U-N-T? Hunt. Okay, your officers, I know you see farther than them because we're going to the Supreme Court. I hope you know that. I told them I'm studying law for 10 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay? There's no way these guys could have known that was me in the car. Okay.
And then he says something so ridiculous it almost hurts. Basically acting shocked that police somehow figured out he was driving the car, even though it was registered to him and had publicly visible license plates attached to it. Like, yes, that's generally how vehicle identification works. The officers didn't solve some giant mystery here. They literally ran the plate.
The full joke. They had no RS. Okay?
Go ahead and take a seat.
Reasonable articulate suspicion. They had none because they didn't know who was in the car. My wife could have been in the car. For all they knew. So that's why I'm taking y'all to the Supreme Court. Okay. And I'm going to get $1 million for every day I sit in jail.
Okay, well, you just gained another charge. Attempt to influence. You just gained another charge. Attempt to influence law enforcement.
No, I'm not.
Congratulations.
No, I'm not.
Kansas versus Glover is the United States Supreme Court case that clarifies that a vehicle return. Say it again, sir.
No return.
No, it has not. No, it has.
No, it is not. Because we won.
Okay. So what?
Well, we're not going to the U.S. Supreme Court because they're not going to rehear the case they just judged on in 2020.
So, Mr. Glover,
I'll get a free flight out of it. I'll see you there. Okay.
Mr. Glover, are you aware which Supreme Court case says I'm allowed to conduct an inventory search of your vehicle? Because I'm pretty sure you just said overturned just to disagree with me. Because that's quite obviously not true.
Overturned.
Now this is where the officers really start having fun with him. You can tell these guys have watched more than a few sovereign citizen meltdowns online because once the legal arguments start coming out, they immediately begin poking holes in everything he says. And the funniest part? He confidently claims the case law was overturned, when that's not even remotely true. The officers basically end up walking through the entire court history for him, explaining how the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately ruled that officers can stop a vehicle when the registered owner comes back with an invalid license. In other words, the exact thing he's complaining about has already been settled at the highest level possible. But instead of realizing that maybe he misunderstood the law, he just keeps digging himself deeper.
Okay. All right. So what is the what is the paramount pillar of Fourth Amendment involving law enforcement? What Supreme Court case?
Man, I'm not going to discuss this with you.
Okay.
I have to discuss that.
No.
I plead the
That's fine. I was just trying to help you understand, that's all.
No, you can't help me understand.
Come over here, please.
You understand. Y'all still on the codes.
What code?
Y'all are.
What code?
You know what code.
No, actually, that is a legitimate question. What code? Like criminal code? Is that what you're talking about?
It's criminal law.
Well, yeah. Everything I've done today has been well within the color of law.
Color of law. It's not. The color of law is not law, then you know.
That doesn't make any sense.
If it's not color of law, you know it's not law.
Where's the study law?
Don't worry about all that, man. Okay. All that doesn't matter. Google. That's where it's starting from. No.
And then the conversation completely turns into internet lawyer chaos. The officer starts asking basic questions about constitutional law, trying to figure out whether this guy actually understands the things he keeps quoting. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. At one point, the guy starts throwing around random legal buzzwords and phrases like they're magic spells that automatically make police powerless. Meanwhile, the officer is practically standing there wondering how somebody can sound so confident while being so unbelievably confused at the same time. And honestly, that's what makes these encounters so fascinating. These people genuinely believe Googling legal phrases and watching YouTube videos makes them constitutional experts.
So, law, the contract you said.
Well, it is a contract, right?
Sure, but it's required by law to have that driver's license. And yours has been suspended. Correct. Which is a misdemeanor offense in the state of Arkansas, which is why you were taken into custody. That's what I was trying to explain to you. We could have avoided all of that arguing back and forth if you would just, you know. Yes. And then, for my departmental policy, if somebody is driving on a suspended driver's license, I have to tow their vehicle. I'm not allowed to let somebody come get it. I have to tow it. And per the United States Supreme Court case law of South Dakota versus Opperman, I can conduct an inventory search of your vehicle prior to towing it. While conducting an inventory search of your vehicle, discovered a firearm underneath your driver's seat. When we ran you an ACIC, when we checked to see if your license was valid, we saw that you were a convicted felon. And you're in possession of a firearm, which is a felony offense in the state of Arkansas. So just so you're aware of everything you're being charged with, possession of a firearm by certain persons. No, you do though. I'm a police officer.
I'm trying to figure out, like, you trying to tell me, you trying to speak legalese to me. I'm like, dude, that's not even registered because there's certain things you don't even understand.
Oh.
Then comes one of the most unintentionally hilarious parts of the entire stop. The guy starts accusing the officer of using legalese, as if normal English suddenly becomes suspicious because he doesn't understand it. Meanwhile, the officer is speaking as plainly as possible. And honestly, if anyone in this situation lacks self-awareness, it's definitely not the cops. Because actual legal language sounds nothing like what he thinks it does. Real legal wording is dense, technical, and painfully formal. But instead of admitting he's lost, he keeps pretending there's some hidden meaning behind everything the officers say. At this point, it feels less like a traffic stop and more like somebody desperately trying to bluff their way through a law exam they never studied for.
So you're being charged with possession of a firearm by certain persons, attempt to influence a law enforcement officer, driving on a suspended license, and driving a vehicle with improper window tint. Because the front right passenger window on your vehicle tested to have 4% light level transmission. In the state of Arkansas, the windows to the left and right of the driver are required to have 25% or greater light transmission level. Also, upon checking you in ACIC, we discovered you had a failure to pay warrant at a Little Rock traffic court. So you're being charged with one count of failure to pay. And then you had 2 additional warrants at a Little Rock environmental court for failure to appear. Those warrants are LR21-422 and LR20-4168. So you're being charged with 2 counts of failure to appear out of Little Rock environmental court. Okay. Say it again, sir.
I had a cold down pat.
Yep. I'm expected to. It's my job. Well, tell me how I'm wrong since you're so smart. Tell me how I'm wrong. Yes, please. What did I do wrong? So I can, you studied law for 10 years, so I can do it right the next time. Let me. Okay.
Y'all let me do it right now.
Can you tell me about Terry versus Ohio? What about Pennsylvania versus Mims?
Versus Murdoch?
Mims.
Versus Murdoch?
Yeah, what about Illinois versus Wardlow?
No,
what about Maryland versus Wilson? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking. Well, you studied law for 10 years.
You'll get there one day.
No, I'm saying.
So you studied law for 10 years.
No, I'm saying. I thought you said Murdoch versus King.
I didn't. I said Pennsylvania versus Mims.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
What about Terry versus Ohio? You know that one?
Terry versus Ohio?
Yes, sir.
What does it say?
Well, I'm asking you. You studied law for 10 years. You would know that.
What does it say?
I'm asking you.
Because you're the one telling us we don't know anything. So we're just trying to see if you got anything.
Okay. So where'd you study law? Where'd you study law?
You haven't been paying your you said Murdoch?
Well, that's one thing we do disagree with is taxes.
You have a business card?
A business card? No, sir.
No.
I'm not a business.
City does not give us those. Got the codes on now.
Yes, sir.
Every single day?
I expect you to. It's my job.
The plate just show up on hot sheets, so that one did. They're not supposed to, but I know there's the third or second one that we stopped, and it's on there, but it's their car, so I don't know.
Say it again, sir.
Everything is on the Admiralty and Maritime. Just remember that.
Maritime?
He's a sovereign citizen. He just doesn't know.
Where, like boats?
He's a sovereign citizen. He just doesn't know himself. Okay. Where he want to be. One or the other.
There's such thing as sovereign citizen.
Okay. You're more nation then?
So the reason he's saying that is because everything you were saying is consistent with what sovereign citizens say. That's all. Say it again.
That don't even make sense, man.
Nothing you have said in the past hour has made sense.
One officer absolutely nails the situation with a single comment. All three of them rode to the police station together, but somehow only one guy thinks he arrived there on a boat instead of in a car. And honestly, that perfectly sums up this entire encounter. Everybody else is operating in reality, while this guy is stuck in sovereign citizen fantasy land trying to rewrite basic facts.
I'm trying to figure out my officer of the law trying to spit legalese at me.
I'm not spitting legalese, I'm spitting facts.
Why don't you practice? Why don't you make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
In all seriousness, you should. If you do have a law degree, you
You're so
should.
smart. Why don't
You really should. Go be a lawyer.
Be a lawyer?
Yeah.
You think I should be a lawyer?
Yeah. If you have a law degree, why not?
So why wouldn't you make the money off of it?
In all seriousness, like, all jokes aside, if you really do have a law degree, go be a lawyer. It's great money. It really is. I don't have the, I'm not cut out for law school. I probably wouldn't pass. I'm not that great at school. And I like being a police officer. I don't want to be a lawyer. Pretty good police officer, though. Yeah, I love being a police officer. It's what I've wanted to do since I was a child. You wouldn't have lawyers if you didn't have police officers. There's nothing to argue. I'd say I like being a police officer.
We don't really need police officers. We have sheriffs.
Oh.
You are a sovereign citizen. You still know.
You just confirmed it. You just confirmed it.
We don't really need them.
You need to write that down because you need to figure out what's up.
So what does a sheriff's deputy do that's different than what I do? They enforce criminal law. They.
Why don't we just hire more sheriffs?
What's the difference?
A
sheriff is elected. Okay. A mayor is elected. A mayor appoints a chief of police. Chief of police hires police officers. What is the difference between a sheriff? A sheriff is elected and appoints sheriff's deputies.
Hey, Bucky, you got any gold French flags in here?
And by this point, the officers are openly trolling him. One of them jokingly asks about gold fringe flags, which, if you know sovereign citizen lore, is basically like throwing gasoline onto the fire. That's the moment you realize the cops stopped taking any of this seriously a long time ago. Now they're just watching the meltdown happen in real time while the guy keeps confidently embarrassing himself.
But what I'm asking you is, what is the difference? What can a sheriff's deputy do that I can't do?
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yes, please do. Please help me.
What does cop stand for?
It's a short term for copper, and the term is derived from when police officers used to wear copper badges.
Absolutely.
So what does cop stand for? Tell me.
Constable on patrol.
Okay,
That's a version that some people.
that's a version that some people say.
You can look in the Black's Law Dictionary. It's certainly the same thing.
The what?
Black's Law Dictionary.
What is
The
that?
Law Dictionary. You ever read a Law Dictionary?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've read.
Charles, I need you to come to the realization that you are, in fact, a sovereign citizen. You just go ahead and embrace it.
And finally, reality starts crashing down on him. Because the officer explains something that sovereign citizens never seem prepared for. If you actually want to claim your rights were violated, you need specifics. You can't just scream, "All my rights were violated," and expect courts to take you seriously. You have to identify which rights, how they were violated, and what law supports your argument. But instead, he's throwing out vague complaints with nothing to back them up, which only makes him look even less credible the longer this goes on. And honestly, that's the perfect ending to this whole disaster. A guy who thought he understood the system ends up losing his car, losing the argument, and making himself look ridiculous every step of the way.